Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So it's the new year, and we're all having to think about what we want for ourselves. And one of the topics that has come up over and over again is, how can I be happier? So what I'm going to address today is 5 simple changes for a happier you in 2025. There's a quote that says, happiness is not something that you can buy. It's something that comes from your own intentions and your own actions. So did you know that only 1 in 3 people can actually say they're truly happy? While there's no magic potion for being happier, there are a few simple changes that you can make in 2025 to become a happier version of yourself. So whether you're feeling stuck or frustrated or just plain unhappy, it's never too late to make that change. So we all have that power within us to create a life that truly reflects our passions and our aspirations. And it's up to you, it's up to me to take the action to make that happen. So think of it this way. Stress and lack of balance is a major happiness killer in our lives. And we can probably all relate to that on some level, whether it's work, relationships, or just getting caught up in the daily grind that makes it easy to focus on what's wrong rather than what's right. So we begin to go down that rabbit hole of the negative self-thoughts, undermining our self-confidence and our self-worth. And that's a vicious cycle that we go into because it can be tough to break through because it just kind of creeps up in our lives, making it challenging to find peace and contentment and happiness. And the second thing is that feeling of emptiness and the lack of fulfillment. Now, from time to time, we've all probably gone through this in our lives. And it's not just the stress that gets it in the way of your happiness. Sometimes we struggle with feeling of emptiness, like something's really missing in our life. And we might be living a life that looks great on the outside, but feels unfulfilling and shallow, lacks meaning, true meaning on the inside. So we might have, all of the external trappings of success, the beautiful house, the nice cars, the beautiful clothing. But deep down inside, we want and we actually need something far more and far more fulfilling. And for many of us, happiness can feel like it's an illusion, it's a dream, something that we constantly are chasing, but we can never catch. So we try to find happiness in material possessions, personal, professional achievements, or even in the approval of others. But no matter how hard we try, that true and lasting happiness still seems out of reach. And that's what you might be feeling right now, and that's what I wanted to address. So how do you break free in 2025 and start creating a life that makes you truly happy inwardly and outwardly? So first, you need to acknowledge that happiness is a journey and it's not a destination. It's not something that you can buy, achieve, or even find. It's something that we need to cultivate moment by moment and day by day. So the first thing to do, I think probably in my mind this is the most important, a few simple changes that you can make and you can start with right away. The first one is to practice gratitude. And it's an immediate and it's a powerful change for improving happiness, and that is to practice being grateful, being thankful. It works because it helps shift our focus from what we're lacking to what we already have. And it's that idea of being content. So it helps us appreciate the little things that life has to offer that we oftentimes take for granted. So it could be just the love of family, time together, sitting around the kitchen table, the simple joy of playing with your grandchildren, or just the beauty of nature. So by focusing on what we're grateful for, we start to see the world and our own world with new eyes and with a new light. So we start to see the magic that's always been there, and it's just been waiting for us to discover and to notice. And the second thing is to flip the script on negativity. So we've all been around people, try not to be, that are very negative, and it's hard to be around those people. So when you catch yourself saying or thinking something negative, shift the focus immediately to something positive, something empowering. So this eventually becomes a habit, so that you're naturally happier when you're focused on the good and not the bad. A third thing is to rediscover what lights you up. So you've probably all been in those situations where you're in your zone and you're so engrossed in whatever you're doing, loving it, that you really forget time. And that's what I mean by rediscovering what lights you up. So happiness starts with that self-awareness, taking time to reflect on what you truly care about, what makes you happy, and then continuing to focus on that. So surround yourself also with people who care about you, who support you, and encourage you to pursue your passion and your purpose. Those things and people that make you happy. And the fourth thing is to set realistic expectations. So bottom line is, stop beating up on yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. So when we set unrealistic expectations of ourselves, we're oftentimes disappointed. And when we don't meet those, then we beat ourselves up. So we're constantly bombarded with those messages from the outside telling us what we should do, what we could be doing differently, what we should be achieving. And it's no wonder that we start to feel like we're constantly falling short. So instead, focus on what you want to accomplish, what you deserve, and what aligns with what you value and what you care about, not what someone else wants. And the last thing is, think of happiness as a habit, not as a goal. So happiness is that daily choice that we make, not a future dream. It's about having enough and being enough. And so this mindset shift alone is life-changing, and it's one that can start right this minute. So in 2025, prioritize yourself and your own happiness, because it is achievable and it's definitely worth pursuing. So by focusing on that present moment, by letting go of external social pressures, and by being self-aware in your daily life, you can start creating the life that you love, a life that is truly happy. So I truly appreciate you joining me. I do hope that my videos help you, and feel free to let other people know about the videos in case that will help them as well. And so there are so many ways that you are going to cultivate that happiness this year, and I would love to hear from you about them. Take care.